Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Because you guys gave me so many questions and I talk too much, this is part 2 video of the Q&A. Hope you enjoy. Next one is from Eternity Hunter. When do we feed the guinea pigs? You can feed the guinea pigs anytime you want. You can feed them their breakfast, you can feed them a treat for lunch, you can feed them some for dinner, but just make sure you're not overdoing it with feeding because you can make them pretty fat. Cinnamon has gained weight and is quite chunky, so we're gonna have to increase her floor time because I'm really not feeding her any extra food. She's just not moving as much. So, but they say you want, if you're doing vegetables, you want no more than 1 cup of vegetables per pig per day. So you can spread out their vegetables throughout the day. For pellets, guinea pigs need 1/8 cup per day per pig. So just make sure you don't overdo it on that. Don't leave a full bowl of food out for them to eat because they don't just eat and stop. They will eat, stop, eat, stop, eat, stop throughout the day, and they're just going to get fatter and fatter and put on the pounds. And obviously we don't want fat guinea pigs because it can cause heart problems. I mean, they get obese and have issues like we do. Hello Peeps asks, do you think any of your items are good for rabbits? So there are a few things that your rabbits could use from my Etsy shop, and none of the small beds. If you can see, we got our cozy cubes. I know it's blurry because it's focusing on me. We got our cozy cubes. Those are too small. Okay, can we focus on the back or not? Okay, so there's like cuddle cups and tunnels. Those will not fit a rabbit, but you can still get like potty pads. This is our large potty pad. It's about 12 inches wide. There's also a smaller one that's about 10 inches. I know that there's some people that their rabbits drink from a water bottle, but others they drink from a dish. So even this is a water bottle pad. This would work too. You can literally put this on, if you do a dish, you can put the dish on top and it will soak up any of the water that they, I don't know, they kick it or something, it'll soak it up because it's got U-Haul padding in it and it'll absorb all that. Or you can put it under their water bottle to where when the water bottle drips, it doesn't, it'll soak this up as well. We also have a heart-shaped pet bed. This has foam in it, and it also has U-Haul on both sides. So again, if a rabbit, again, rabbits are better potty trained than guinea pigs, but it can also soak up any stuff as well. If they happen to have wet paws from stepping in the water, it'll soak it up. And these are all machine washable. Our liners as well, I didn't want to get it down, but our liners are up here that you can put down in their eating areas, so where their water bottle is, their food, their hay, whatever. It just keeps it nice. It keeps your, like, if you have blankets on the bottom, you can put it on top of that and you can interchange it, stuff like that. It's perfect. This stuff is also great for pets as well. I've been using my liners for the kittens. I can even vacuum it when it gets a little bit dirty, so it pretty much, it works out great. And then the last thing that would probably be very good is, and they love it, is this is a potty pad. It's a 12-inch potty pad with a pillow on it. So they would love to lay against it. So there are many items that I have in my store that would work. Another item in my store, I don't have it down here, but I'll put a picture of it. But it's a little basket and it has all different toys that I've made together. A rabbit would love it. There's actually, I think there's reviews on my stores of people who bought it for their rabbits, rats, guinea pigs, and they love it. So my guinea pigs love that stuff. But I do have to say, if your rabbit is a destroyer and chewer, I wouldn't recommend getting this stuff. I know some people have had issues with their rabbits destroying blankets and things, so I wouldn't, if yours does that, I wouldn't recommend purchasing it because it will be destroyed very quickly. Okay, Betty Timpton asks, can I use Tresemme shampoo and conditioner to bathe my guinea pigs? Let me just do a disclaimer here. Guinea pigs are naturally self-cleaning like cats. They do a pretty good job at keeping themselves clean. However, there are times that guinea pigs do need a bath, and that reason can vary. So what I say may not be the only cause, but sometimes guinea pigs with longer hair typically end up peeing on themselves and end up just having an issue with cleaning that area, especially even their grease gland. The one that passed, Godiva, she constantly, no matter how much I cleaned her grease gland, she just had a chunky area, so she had to have bum baths often. Sometimes as they get older, like Caramel, he pees on himself all the time. He'll pee and lay in it, so he gets kind of just cakey on the back of his legs, which can cause irritation and infection. So those are the times that you would bathe your guinea pig. And you would not bathe your guinea pig, like throw it in the tub and just wash its whole body. What you try to do, because the oils on their skin and hair are very important for their health, just try to wash the area that has the problem. So I would put Caramel in a shallow area and bathe that. What I would recommend using instead of using Tresemme, reason why I wouldn't recommend using hair care products that we use is because they can strip the natural oils from a guinea pig's body. So you want to use shampoo that's formulated for them. I would highly recommend Gorgeous Guinea's shampoo, and I'll put a link below of their website. And they've also got other great products too, where you have like creams and salves that you can put on the bottom of their feet to help with like bumblefoot, or if they just get dry and cracked feet, you can soften them up with that, because that's uncomfortable for them to have dry and cracked feet. But those are specifically formulated for guinea pig skin and do not strip them of their natural oil. Okay, our next one is, sorry if I mispronounce your name, Andrea Camille. Are guinea pigs smelly? Are there things you can do to combat that? Guinea pigs themselves are not smelly. The smell that you may smell is actually their poop and pee. They do a very good job at cleaning themselves, as I said before. There are ways that you can combat that smell. Again, do not give them baths, because guinea pigs themselves are not the smelly. That's not the smell that you're smelling. I would suggest the best way to keep something smelling clean, and I know some of you will disagree, is using fleece bedding, because you can interchange that out, wash it, and it's going to help keep your area smelling better. Another thing that's great is getting a air purifier, and I have a review that I'm working on, a video that I will post about a certain air purifier that I am in love with. But I'm telling you guys, it has been life-changing, this air purifier. So I would suggest getting it's better to get an expensive one because it's going to do its job. I got a cheap one, I didn't see any difference whatsoever. So those are some things that you can use to combat the smell. I would not suggest using air fresheners or anything like that, because guinea pigs are very sensitive to smells, so do not do that. Next person, Lexi's Fun Page, says, can guinea pigs eat brown bean plants? I'm not sure what that is. I have tried to find that. I tried to research that. Most things like leaves and stuff probably aren't going to be toxic, but I would definitely do your research, because there are plants out there that can kill animals, have toxins in them, kill them lickety-split. So like what's going around Facebook right now is lilies can kill cats very quickly. So always make sure what you're feeding your guinea pig is safe for them and it's not a poison. So I really don't have information on that. And I don't know what brown bean plants, I'm assuming maybe like your kidney beans or something. I don't know. So I really couldn't say much on that. Okay, Ashley Holmberg asked, what are some pros and cons of fleece bedding? So I'll start off with the cons first. They can be expensive up front. There's a huge upfront cost. So like a liner, like a 2x4 liner, could be anywhere from $50 to $70 or more. Ashley Holmberg asked, what are some pros and cons of fleece bedding? So we're going to start off with the cons first. First thing is they are expensive. There's a huge upfront cost in using that, because if you get a CNC cage, you're going to be using fleece, and you're going to need liners, you're going to need potty pads, you're going to need hideaways, tunnels, all kinds of stuff. So up front, it can be quite expensive. I mean, it could be, to get all the materials you need, it could be $400 or $500 or more, because you're probably going to want extra potty pads, not just one set, so you can interchange and wash as needed. Second thing is you have to wash it in the washer, so that can be a lot of electricity, a lot of water being used, and it could end up messing up your washer. So you have to make sure that you get as much hair and debris off of the liners before you wash them. So now on to the pros, because I can't think of any more cons. They are easy to clean compared to other bedding. So if you're using paper bedding, you're having to scoop, you're having to put stuff in bags, and this is just so much easier. You just lift off the liner, get rid of in a bucket like all the debris, and then put in the washer. It's good to go. It's interchangeable, so if you've got two big liners down and you put potty pads in places that have the most mess, you just take that potty pad up and then put a new one on, and now you've got a fresh area. So I like it because it's just super easy to deal with. It's less expensive in the long run. So yes, you may spend like a $500 to $1,000 on your one set, two sets of liners to interchange, but it's going to be cheaper than using paper bedding over time. So you'll probably get your money back, your money's worth out of it, within 6 months to a year of using the liners compared to your paper bedding and stuff. You can get cute patterns, so you can always change. That's probably what's most addicting, is getting all these patterns and matching or not matching. That's probably what's going to make you spend a lot more. They rarely stain, so there have been times that I've reused a potty pad and it's gotten kind of dirty spots on it, but you put it in the washer and it comes right out. And you can even get white ones, like some of my patterned side liners, they are white. Oh, so for here's an instance. So there's white on this one, and they rarely stain. Now obviously if you leave them in there longer than what they're supposed to and you get poop caked on them, then of course there might be some stain, but honestly I've never had any stain on my stuff. And they last for years. I've had liners, the same liners that I used in the classroom for 2 years, and those liners are now being used in Carmel's cage because I had to make a whole new set of liners for the other guinea pigs, and I didn't want those liners to go to waste. So they have lasted for years. Obviously sometimes my guinea pigs have picked on, like chewed the edges, so those kind of have holes in them. But honestly, they're amazing. A ton of them are being used upstairs for the kittens. So I've used them for puppies, I've used them for kittens, and they're just a great item to have for any animal in your household. I would highly recommend fleece bedding. It's just so much more cleaner. Does fleece bedding give off an odor? And no, it will not if you keep it clean. So mine, I do a full clean every 4 days. So what I do is the main liners, the big liners, stay down for 4 days straight. But I have mini potty pads, and I will use a potty pad for 2 days unless it's even worse or it needs to be changed. So the first day it's on one side. The second day I come in and do their cage clean, I flip it to the other side where it's clean. It's not wet or have stains on it. And then on the third day, I put a whole new set of potty pads in, and then those last for 2 days, and then I change the full cage, because by that time the liner's starting to get dirty and it just doesn't look as pretty. So, but if you leave it in there, a week or two, and you're not properly, eventually pee is gonna build up on there and it's gonna stink. So, but it's a lot easier to clean than it would be bedding, your paper bedding. Okay, next person, Jacob W. says, for bedding, can I use cardboard and then towels on top? I wouldn't recommend that because it's not comfortable for the guinea pig's feet. You need some sort of padding on there to provide them comfort, because they don't need to be, cardboard is a hard surface, and honestly cardboard is not going to do a good job at soaking up stuff. I mean, it will to a point, but then it's just going to get nasty, and it's probably going to cause more smell in your cage than anything else, so I would not recommend that. Michaela Staff asks, do you have a favorite pet? Yes, Carmel. Carmel is my favorite pet, has always been. It's just because he is more friendly than the other guinea pigs. He wants more of my attention, and honestly, I'm surprised he's not biting on the cage right now, because he typically will do that all the time when he wants my attention. Winnie Skinnies asked, what grade do you teach? I co-teach middle school, but I mainly teach 6th and 7th grade. So one of my co-teachers, he teaches 8th grade solely, even though I'm in the classroom, that's his grade. He loves teaching that. So he will teach that class, and then I am solely responsible for 7th grade classes. Because again, we got 2 big classrooms. There's always another teacher in the classroom, but like on those 2 grades, one of us is in charge of those grades and stuff. And then in 6th grade, I actually do originally like co-teach with another teacher. We teach unit by unit, and I teach health if you didn't already know that. What kind of fleece do you use and where do you get it? So I use Blizzard fleece and anti-pill or anti-pill plush fleece. You can get that at Joann's, or there's some other places I've discovered. You can get it at yourfleece.com. And Joann's Plus also has to where you can get many yards, like 8+ yards, and of one particular pattern, and you get it at a discounted rate. So instead of paying like $7-8 for a yard, you can get it for like $3 or something. It just depends on what sale they're having. L. Stevens asked, how long have you been sewing? Consistently, probably 3 years, but I was introduced to sewing as a child, probably 8 or 9. My mom bought me a little kid's sewing machine, and we made some pillows. Then after that, in high school, I took a sewing class and I really enjoyed it. I didn't make very good things. I would always overdo things, so I made like sweatpants of fleece material, and me being an idiot, I used the fleece material for the tie straps, so they're like this wide, and it was really dumb, but eventually I got rid of those. So it wasn't until I got guinea pigs that I started getting into sewing again, because obviously I was trying to do what was easier for me and what was the best way to put on their cage or use items to use for their cage, and I decided to go with fleece bedding. So my mom has always been an avid sewer. When I was growing up, she made several outfits for me. So I asked her to help me make my first liners, and they were not, or no, it was potty pads is what we made first. And I just used blankets and U-Haul padding under, and it just became a hassle. So eventually I moved on to making a CNC cage, and I had my mom help me make liners. Now these weren't the liners that I make today. We were unsure if my machine could go through 4 layers of thick fabric. So we did it some funky way where we only went 2 layers of fabric, and it didn't look all that great. About 2 to 3 years ago, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do better at this. I'm gonna figure out how to make stuff. And the products I started off with are not up to par of what I have now, but it was a starting point. So all in all, I have been sewing a lot during my life at different times, but it's been really the past 3 years that I've really honed in my skill and really enjoyed it. And I asked my mom the other day, because I've had my store open for 2 years now, and I just hit 500 sales a few weeks ago, and I was like, Mom, did you ever think that this is what I would be doing? And she's like, no. She said, I would have never in a million years imagined you would be ever really pick up sewing, because I've always been someone who loves crafts. I crochet, I knit. Those were always my biggest passion. But she said, I would have never known that you would have picked up this skill and started sewing animal beds. So it's just, but it's, I mean, it's been an extra little income, a side hustle for me, and it's helped with pay me through my master's classes. So I will be graduating next spring, so that'll be a little over 4 years that I've been doing it, because I take my time. I'm not gonna overwhelm myself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions or you have any comments about what I talked about and you'd like to add them, feel free to comment down below, because this can just be an information-filled video. So, hope you guys have a great day. Bye.